I'd like to give you a lesson on tuning by ear using octaves. I can think of a couple of great reasons why this is a good skill to learn. One reason is that the lowest notes and the highest notes of your harp do not always register well on most electronic tuners. You may have had the experience of trying to tune your bass wires, and when you get down to about 6th octave F or 7th octave E, your tuner doesn't seem to be picking it up. And what do you do then? So if you learn how to tune by ear, you'll have an easier time with those lowest and highest strings. A second reason is if you're in a performance situation, say you're doing a recital, you're on stage, and you notice a couple of strings just don't sound right. If you have the skills to tune by ear, you can quickly tune those without having to run backstage and get your tuner and set it up. So it's an excellent skill to learn. What I'm going to do is match up one string to another one an octave apart. And while I mentioned that this is a great way to tune down low, I'm going to practice and suggest that you practice in the middle of the harp. That's a place where your tuner registers very well, and you can check how you've done with your tuner. Now, I don't have a tuner set up right now, I'm just going to do it by ear. I have tuned this 4th octave C and this 5th octave C together, and when octaves are in tune, they tend to sound like one note. So it's hard to tell really, I'm playing this one and this one, but they sound really good together. Now if an octave is slightly out of tune, you're going to hear a slight wavering sound. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to make this 5th octave C a little bit low. Now those are slightly out of tune, and hopefully you can hear a fast wah 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 wavering sound when I play them. And if I make it even more out of tune, it'll be faster. And if I get it closer to being in tune, that waver will slow down. Now it's more like wah, 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 wah. I'm going to bring it up a little more. And it's slowing down. So let's try that again. I'm going to go a little bit high this time. And same thing happens, you get that wavering noise. And I'm going to bring it back into tune. Listen to that waver slowing down. Let's switch down to the 5th and 6th octave C strings so you can hear what a bass wire sounds like when it does that. There, they're out of tune now. I mean, if the strings are really out of tune, you can just tell that they just don't sound good. And if you don't know if it's high or low, you just know it sounds wrong, the best thing to do is to bring the one you're trying to tune down lower. Because try to listen to if it gets worse or better. You don't want to bring it higher, because if it's already high, you run the risk of breaking the strings. So if you're not sure, always tune down first. I got worse. So I know I was too low. So I'm bringing that 6th octave string up. Sometimes you'll have a hard time getting every bit of that waver out of there, but make it as slow as you can. Now if you practice that in the middle of the harp, you can check yourself on your tuner, and once you get pretty good at doing it in the middle of the harp, you can work on doing the lowest and highest parts, and it'll come in handy down the road. It'll be much easier to get your whole harp in tune.